Hello, my name is Christian Hecht. I'm a 3D artist at Tendril Design and Animation in Toronto. I want to give you a quick overview of how I tackled the creation of the forest environments we did for the short Nanya Nani, which served as the intro of episode 5 of the TV series American Gods, which premiered earlier this year. It all started with rough concepts to get an idea of what the forest assets and environments could look and feel like. For the assets, we went for a realistic yet slightly stylized look, as if they were handmade or part of a diorama model kit, as you can see in these close-up renders. And for the forest itself, we always pictured it to be very moody, with a lot of atmosphere, fog, light shafts cutting through the canopy and stuff like that. The next step is the animatic. It gives us a feel for the timing and the angles and how it will all work together. So we have that same shot open here in Maya. It's pretty bare bone, a couple of placeholder characters and the ground plane and camera from the animatic. This is the main group of the forest assets. It contains the meshes, their instances, and a sim group with the VDB for the ground fog in this case. The mesh group contains both hand-placed and scattered proxies, as well as all the instances. These instances represent each layer of what makes the forest environment, going from big objects like trees all the way down to grass and twigs. Here I unhide what is basically the furthest layer of trees in the background, which doesn't mean it's not important. It gives our heavily fogged forest a lot of depth, as you will see in the final result later on. Next up are the main hero trees. A nice little trick in Maya is that in order to keep the viewport performance high, you can have the instances showing in the render, but not in the viewport. For that you simply have to have the visibility checked, but the LOD visibility unchecked. For the actual scattering of the different types of vegetation, I used Maya's native mesh system. It gave me all the features that I needed, like placement that follows the ground plane, randomization of scale, rotation, and type of instance. Each type of vegetation has its own mesh node, which shares a basic set of parameters for, again, things like randomized translation, rotation, etc. This list of instances is a pretty good representation of how I approach environments like this forest in general. Going layer by layer, starting from the biggest, here being the trees, all the way down to the ground cover level, hence leaves, twigs, mushroom, and so on. Constantly referring back to real-world reference is key here. As for the actual placement of the layers, except for a few hand-placed objects, I mainly used the random seed function of the distribution parameters, basically scrolling through it until I find a distribution that I like. I would like to leave you with a breakdown of the shot you saw the animatic for at the beginning of this video. It shows the different layers of ground cover, which are exclusively built with assets from the Megascans library. Thanks for watching!